All right, welcome to another episode of Medicine Mondays. This is actually the first Medicine Mondays of 2023. Welcome back. If you are a first-time viewer, this is the motto. If you are overwhelmed by this healthcare system, feeling underappreciated by this healthcare system, and you've just been kind of wandering, looking for a voice or reason, you have found it. I am yours truly, Dr. Barry Pierre. And I just want to say, hey, we're back. It has been about, depending on when you're watching this, about 3 to 4 weeks since our last video. We actually took a break. I thought it was a very well-deserved break. Not only did it coincide with Christmas break and coincided with my kids being out, and I just say, you know what? Like, what's the sense of urgency to have to, post and create content when I don't need to? It's the holidays. Everyone is, entitled to relax. So I say, hey, you know what? Let me take advantage of it. But when I tell you I am refreshed and ready to go, if you caught last episode, I talked about the 5 things that I have planned for 2023. So please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you're a podcast listener, make sure you are subscribed to the podcast, and obviously leave us reviews wherever you're at. This week, I'm going to be talking about, hey, what should we expect to come from, Dr. Barry, as well as, Pierre Medical Consulting and everything for the year 2023 in comparison to what we've done all of last year, pretty much what we've been doing for this past, I think going on like 5 or 6 years now. It's been an amazing ride. And I just have to thank you guys, the ones I like to call my lunch and learn community, who every weekend, week out, figure out, hey, you know what? I want to learn a little bit more about a health topic that I see flashing across my TV. I want to know a little bit more to prepare myself when it's time for myself to get a checkup, when it's time for my family to get their checkup, when it's time for our kids to get, I just want to know a little bit more. You know, the motto, empower yourself for better health. And that's a journey that I've been on, and I appreciate everyone in this community, Medicine Monday watchers, Real Physician Reacts watchers, Lunch and Learn podcast listeners, and all across the board, across all of our social media platforms. Appreciate all you guys' support. And I'm just excited for what 2023 is going to be bringing. I'll be honest, I'm absolutely excited. And I probably say I'm excited every single year, but every time I get a chance to kind of reevaluate and figure out, hey, I love what we did the previous year, but what can we do better? How can we better serve our community to make sure, again, they feel just as empowered and enriched when they do listen to the things that we say? Like, I absolutely get excited. So first and foremost, I want to talk to my YouTube watchers right now. Shout out to my YouTube watchers. If you are, definitely, again, make sure you are subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, especially if my podcast listeners, hop over to youtube.com and search Dr. Barry Pierre TV and subscribe to the channel. There's really no reason why you're not, because we are going to be bringing a lot more content on the video front. But more importantly, we're going to be bringing a lot more content specifically for YouTube. It's one of these platforms that I kind of use as kind of the parent, where like I'll do this Medicine Mondays videos, and then we take the audio and then we throw it on the podcast, or I'll do Real Physician Reacts and then we take the audio, then I throw it on the podcast. But I want to make sure that we are specifically catering to our YouTube audience. So we definitely plan to be a lot more active here on this YouTube channel, a lot more videos specifically for our YouTube audience, which again, I'm absolutely excited for. Of course, you're still going to get Medicine Mondays. You're still going to get Real Physician Reacts. We're going to do a lot more proactivity associated with the YouTube Shorts. That's been a nice little commodity for us. And especially if you're one of my TikTok followers, you kind of know how we do with TikTok. We're going to be bringing kind of that same energy with YouTube Shorts. I'm going to be answering questions, and I get a lot of comments. I'm going to be answering a lot of those things via our YouTube Shorts platform. Because again, if you're already on an app, like, you don't want to really hop on different apps just to figure, hey, what did Dr. Barry say over here? What did he say over here? You want to be able to say, like, all right, I want to stay on my app, the app that I love, because I have a lot of people who they love YouTube. They're on YouTube every day. Like, that's where they go. They're not going to the podcast. They're not going to my Facebook page. They're not going to my TikTok page. They're going to the YouTube. And I want to make sure that we reach out for those. So expect a lot more YouTube heavy content. I think I'm going to probably start using YouTube as the parent that it is. So even if I have TikTok related content that I want to talk about, expect to see something in that regards, maybe even a longer form on our YouTube front. Like I said, I'm absolutely excited for what we're going to do there. Of course, if you're on TikTok, stay on TikTok. We cut up over there on TikTok. We do our live stream here with Real Physician Reacts. We're going to start doing our live stream on TikTok as well. We got to pick a day or two. TikTok is interesting because it's one of those platforms where you can go and then videos that you talked about a month ago start getting like traction. So again, we love it because it's definitely different than what Instagram or even Facebook provides, as far as this kind of this reinvigorating attention that we like to see. So definitely excited for what's to come from that. That being said, we're also going to be actually developing our first Patreon community. That's something that I've been kind of thinking about doing for a while. I'll be honest, I've signed up for a Patreon account, probably like a couple of years ago, honestly, just so I can have the username, patreon.com/Dr. Barry Pierre. And I just didn't know, all right, what do I want to do with that? Because obviously we are providing content to the Lunch and Learn community, but like what incentives? Because that was my goal. What incentives could I provide for people who would want to join the Patreon community, right? So we're having a 3-tier set of structure for the Patreon community. We have what we call our friend of the show. I like to call it friend of the show. Reason is that it's less than a cup of coffee a month, $5 a month, where obviously you get access to all of our old and new content, whether it be YouTube, whether it be a podcast. You get access to that not going away. More importantly, you get access to now a private Discord, because I think a lot of times what people tell me is that they love hearing and seeing what I do, but sometimes they want to make sure that they're not in the bubble their own. And I think a lot of people would be very surprised to realize that a lot of us have the same questions. Like, you might think, all right, I'm probably the only person who's concerned about their blood pressure. I'm probably the only person concerned about whether this certain vitamin works. I'm probably the only person concerned about, different weight loss tactics. But then you want to get into a community and you look around, especially, that's what we're going to really nurture in our Discord. You look around and you're like, wow, a lot more people are kind of experiencing the same thing that I've been experiencing, or kind of having the same thoughts and feelings that I'm experiencing. And more importantly, like, what does Dr. Barry think about it? Because I can tell you, there's a lot of times where I may not have the time to make a whole video or a whole blog post or a whole infographic, but I may have a couple words that it's like, oh, hey guys, like I would check this out. Hey guys, I'd worry about this. Like, there's definitely opportunities to ascend there. So if you are a friend of the Lunch and Learn community, again, less than a cup of coffee, which is about $5 a month, like that's going to be available for you. We have another tier. We call it our premium tier. That is going to be $10 a month, right? So with that, not only do you get everything that the friends of the Lunch and Learn community gets, but you also get access to live Q&A sessions that we'll be hosting within our private Discord. You get access to even special different merchandise, promo codes, and like I said, we're going to be doing a lot more from a merchandise perspective as well. Like a lot of you see that I don my Empower Yourself a Better Health sweatshirt. Like, a lot of people always ask me for that. You get that at shop.drbarrypierre.com. So we're gonna have a lot more, and we try, and I have one Empower Yourself a Better Health that doesn't have my caricature on it, so you can get one that doesn't even have my face on it if you want that. In fact, I'll probably start wearing it for our videos as well too, just so you can kind of get an idea of different options that we have. So that'll be for the premium member. And then more importantly, you actually get a bonus episode. I kind of talked about some of the content we're going to be doing, but sometimes like I want to make sure I provide even additional content on top of our regularly scheduled program, right? So you'll get at least one, I say one, but at least one bonus episode a month. Very excited for that to occur. And then we have our VIP special VIP tier. That is going to be, I believe, $25 a month. And with with Dapper. No, 25 or 50. It's I'll put a link in the bio because I forget what my producer did it for. But with that, you'll get what we call associate producer status. What does that mean? What does that mean for you? That means that not only do you have firsthand, feedback or input on the types of shows that we put, the types of content that we talk about. You even have feedback on the types of guests that we reach out to, right? Some of you may be like, man, I would love for Dr. Barry to interview, my doctor, or to interview this person, or to try to reach out to this person. Guess what? Now if you're a VIP member, you're going to have access to do that as well too. So again, just exciting things. Again, check out patreon.com / Dr. Barry Pierre for more details. And again, we appreciate everyone's support. And let me tell you, right, for those who may be like, man, I don't know if I want to do Patreon. I can't do Patreon. Like, just because you don't do the Patreon doesn't mean you're not gonna get great content, right? Like, because that's gonna stay. Like, the good content's not just gonna go away if you're not in my Patreon community. But if you are in the Patreon community, you're gonna get more content. You're gonna get more access to me personally, right? I get a lot of people who always ask me kind of personal questions, and I can't answer it, for various reasons, too busy and all this everything else. But now that if you're in a private Discord, or you're in one of our specific tiers, guess what? Now you have a little bit more direct access to me, which again, I think is definitely worth the price of admission. So definitely just excited on that aspect, right? So that's going to be the Patreon. Of course, we have a lot of topics that are ready and able for you that I'll be touching on. We'll be definitely having more guest appearances on the show. Now, again, the guest appearance, and this is where kind of that Patreon kind of fits in. Sometimes we interview guests, and instead of just putting the guest out on the public platform, we may have it for just Patreon exclusive related episodes, right? Depending on the guest, depending on the topic, right? So again, just lots of different things that we have planned for you. But like I said, content is going to be an amazing centerpiece for the year 2023. Keeping you guys up to date on what's going on is going to be a strong point for us in 2023, especially again, COVID and measles and everything that keeps happening continues to happen, right? And I want to make sure that I am your driving force on medical information. More importantly, factual. I probably should stress that factual medical information, health information, and we'll sprinkle in a little business information as well too. We'll definitely want to make sure that kind of all of our bases are covered, man. So, let me tell you, I am just excited for what's to come. Again, this is not even a long episode. This is just more of the, hey, welcome back. And if you're a first time watcher of the YouTube show, make sure you're subscribed. If you're a first time listener on the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the show. We appreciate all your comments and support. And the links for the Patreon will be in the description show notes. I'm going to see you guys next week.